Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is I, Test on the Quest, aka Johnny. I hope everyone is having a great, wonderful day. And in today's episode, we have the trade deadline to do. As you see, currently we sit with a record of 26, 33, and 3. So in the last episode, we did talk to a couple of our players who had no movement clauses, so Brock Besser and Connor Garland. And we did get some teams. So Brock Besser wants to go to either the Rangers or the Maple Leafs. So if we go ahead and look at the Maple Leafs, they currently sit with a record of 40, 18, and 2. And then if we take a look at their forwards, Brock Besser would easily slide into that top six. And I think we have to make a deal with Toronto. Obviously, who do we take back? I mean, I think Nick Robertson could be pretty good. They do have Dakota Joshua, who I probably would take back as the captain. And then in terms of like potentially getting a pick, they have their first next year we could try. Um, they also could go for their first in 2029. But I think Toronto for Besser makes the most sense. And now talking about the other player we have to move, Connor Garland, who doesn't have that much value. Definitely should have traded him last season. So that's on me for not taking advantage of his value. But he can go to Chicago, Montreal, or Toronto. Obviously, Toronto is getting Brock Besser from us. If we go to Montreal, they sit 33-25. But if you take a look at their forwards, yeah, you could say he fits, but they have quite a bit of like younger guys and stuff coming up that I don't want to stunt their development because of Connor Garland. So that means again, just like last trade deadline, we are going to be making some trades with Chicago. As you can see, Connor Garland easily could go right to that first line with Bedard. So that is going to be our move for Connor Garland. And in terms of other moves we want to make, we did speak to Lankin. He doesn't want to move, so we're going to keep him. Defensively, I do believe we spoke with Ronick. He didn't want to go. I mean, if we can just check again just to make sure. Yeah, no, we only have on ice play and stuff. He's at least here for till I believe his contract. Yeah, he has one more year. So next season, and then at free agency next year, we can move on from him. We do have a couple of other guys we can look to move. Um, so now the question is, do we go into trade deadline to make these moves? I think we do. So let's go ahead. We're going to make some changes. So Brock Besser, you are officially being scratched for Ryan Reeves. And Connor Garland, you are going to be scratched for Max Sashin. Just so hopefully if we don't make any other moves from our roster that our lines don't change and we just have to bring up two players to replace those. Which also means we're going to have a new alternate because Brock Besser is an alternate. So if we take, I'm not going to take it off him yet because that might just disrupt his morale. And if we affect his trade value now, that is not going to be good for us at all. So I don't think there's anything else to do. I think let's go ahead and advance today. And let's get this trade deadline. So we are going to be we're going to be a seller. If teams want to offer us stuff, we will consider it. So here we go. So if we take a look at the top 10, Vince Dunn, DeBrincat, McCann, Brock Besser, Hamilton, Ricard Raquel, Hayton, Gustafson, Coleman, and Brady Shea are your top 10 players available. Obviously for Brock Besser, which we can't really look at him even though he's on our team, I think that will probably be our first move. So Brock Besser, is it still Toronto? Have you added any teams? No. So oops, Brock Besser, you are gonna go to Toronto, and we gotta hurry up because I don't want Toronto to lose out. I don't want to lose out on the potential trade here from moving on from Besser. As much as it's sad, I really want to keep him, but I think it makes most sense to move him. So if we go here, and we go here, I do think I do want Nick Robertson back. I think he could easily replace Besser on that first line and just play with Pedersen for the rest of the season. We are gonna take back Dakota Joshua because he wants to come. And then is there any other low value players you're trying to move on from? Or at least like low value that could make sense. I mean, we could take like Steven Lorentz or well, maybe not Steven Lorentz. No, I don't think they have anyone. Do they have a goaltender that maybe has too much salary cap? No, but they do have a Dennis Hildeby, which he's never gonna really get past because they both have long-term deals here. If we can get Dennis Hildeby, I think we would do that, and I would give back probably they want Ty Young, they can have Ty Young. We need to give back one more player, so if they have interest in one of our depth, obviously not Linus Carlson, he's probably a little bit too much. You know, we'll give them Michael McCarron. So Besser, Young, and McCarron to Toronto for Nick Robertson, Dakota Joshua, and Dennis Hildeby. And now let's see if we go to draft picks. Can we get, I don't think we're going to be able to get the first. We will try. Will they accept this? No. So we're not going to do that. Can we get 2 second-round picks? Obviously, we might be losing out on value, but we only have one team to trade them. It's basically we either move him for this or we hold on and hope other team is at it and we can convince him. Because if we look, hopefully this is not a trade with Toronto. It is not. He has a no movement clause for 2 more years after this before 15 team. I think if we can do this, we have to do this. So to Toronto for 2 seconds, Dennis Hildeby, Dakota Joshua, and Nick Robertson. What do you say, Toronto? Trade is accepted. So that is deal number 1 done. So Brock Besser, good luck in Toronto. Hopefully you will win a Stanley Cup. Now let's go to Chicago, who just make a deal. They acquired Brendan Dillon, so that's not a forward, so we can still make this deal. So Connor Garland, who has 6 years left at $6 million. They have 15 million, so we don't really need to be taking cap back here, which is really good. They have Lars Steiner, Beckham Edwards, Mikey Beerchild, and Mason West. Mason West is really not developing, so we might stay away from him. Goalies matching the block, they have Adam Gajan, who's really not developing. Okay, so if we go to draft picks, they have their first round pick. If there's a way we could just get a first and a second, Chicago would be over the... Okay. We may have just run into an issue. They'll be over the salary cap next season, so we do need to take back cap. And preferably someone... So Hedel, did they sign him to an extension? No. They're going to be paying Burakovsky and Teravainen that much money for next year? Oy, oy, oy. Okay, and they don't really have any forwards with a lot of salary and defensemen for a multi-year deal. They don't really have anyone. And then goaltending, you have anyone with 2 years that you would want to get rid of? I mean, if we do Arvid, so it's still asset no longer, they just trade. Okay. I think we might be stuck with Garland. His, so again, same thing for him. He's 2 years. I mean, like, let's just see. Maybe there is a deal Chicago is going to offer us through the fine trade. Let's see. So if we go to Garland, is there anything? So Montreal's willing to give us a second and Owen Beck, Zarkarski in a third, or Michael Hage. Okay, it looks like we might have to do this deal with Montreal. And Washington just traded Ilias Protas for Shane Gostisbehere. So they do want him. I mean, if we could get David Reinbacher, I think we have to try. So Connor Garland for David Reinbacher straight up. Will they do that? No. So if we say, is there a defenseman you would like here? We have anyone with value. I mean, we could send them back our Bergerac guy. Um, no, we could just use one of the seconds we got from Toronto because we have San Jose's. So I'd give them the Toronto second we just got. So Connor Garland and a second for David Reinbacher, who usually develops pretty well in this game, at least from what I saw. So if they take this, I think this is a deal of a deal. They're gonna say no for that second. What if we give you San Jose second? But just to be safe. So Canes acquired Barrett Hayton for a second and Beck, so that deal is no longer possible. Could we get a fifth and a seventh next year? And the Habs would be over the salary cap because of the Barrett Hayton deal. God damn. Okay. Let's see. Anyone with salary cap? Hey, we could take Galley. We could take Galley back. So we would have one too many players. So same thing. Who would you want back? We can give them Klimovich. Yeah, we'll give him Klimovich. He can play with them. So Connor Garland, a second, and Klimovich. I wonder, could we now give up that Toronto second instead because we're taking back Galley's cap? We might be able to just give up a third, actually. We might have to take out the fifth, but I would do that. Connor Garland, Klimovich, a third for David Reinbacher, a seventh, and Brendan Gallagher comes home. What do you say? Trade is rejected. That's fine. Take away that. Trade rejected. Okay, so it might have to be a minimum second, which is fine. So Toronto second, is that enough? No. Okay, is San Jose second? I don't want to go past San Jose. I want to keep ours. Trades rejected. Okay, so we might have to offer. Okay, do we have any like unsigned prospects we want to give up here? Could give them light. Nah, I don't want to be too cheesy with the. You know what? We'll do it. Let's give up a fourth. So a second and a fourth. Can we get David Reinbacher? Yes, we can. I think that's huge for our future defense. Like we now have Zeev William and David Reinbacher as a potential first pairing. I think that easily take us super far. That that is a fantastic move. So now we here at 9 o'clock. We'll quickly just see if there's other moves we can make. So obviously we acquired Dennis Hildeby. So is anyone interested in Topilo? No. Defenseman. I mean, I guess we should do our due diligence and see what Arbor Jacki can get us. A third and Killorn. Morgan Frost, a third, a third. Ristolainen. High starter Joel Blomqvist. That's not horrible, but we don't need too many more goalies. So some interesting offers, but he should keep his value, so it's fine for now. Right wingers. I guess if we do swap Robertson, what could we get? So a third and a fourth. We can get a second with Joe Hanley, but it's Vegas' second. It's not really going to be the best. Nah, I think we'll hold on to him. Left wingers, there's really no one here. I mean, we could take a look at Nick Lardis and see what he can grab us. A third. Yeah, it's probably just going to be a third. We'll keep him. Maybe we give him a shot for the rest of the season. And then centers, Atu Ratti, we did not sign him to an extension. What could be out there for him? A second. Beer Child, Drew Doughty, that's insane. Philip Gustafson, Nicholas Hank. Kopitar went to Nashville. Should have just stayed in LA. What the hell? Yeah, no, there's really nothing there. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are good for this. So, with it now being 10 o'clock, I am going to just go right to the end, skip to the end of the trade deadline. We'll take a look at what moves have happened, and then we're gonna simulate the rest of the season, and hopefully we finish bottom three, so we can have a chance at Landon Dupont. So still about an hour to go, but I figured I would bring it back, and I thought we would take a look to see if there are some prospects available out there. that maybe we should actually be thinking about acquiring. Cole Hudson is available from Washington. Do we have anything? So they would want Atu Ratin the third, Lattermacky, Robertson, Linus Carlson. That's not really fair. I mean, the Atu Ratin one maybe, but I don't know. Let's see. Not really too many top prospects available. Cameron Schmidt, DeBrincat, and JT Compher are available out of Detroit. Florida has Adam Valentini. Drew Doughty's available, which is insane. Montreal's still getting rid of Michael Hage, who maybe we should have targeted instead of Reinbacker, but I think the potential defensive impacts Reinbacker would have, Cole Eisman's available, but the Reinbacker defensive impacts for us when we're trying to be Porter Martone is available. Is there anything we have? So they would want Ratty, Jennings, and Ogren. Or Legacy, no thank you. Or Reinback, no, I'm good. Well, hey, funny enough, the Reinbacker for Martone, which was the reported offer back at the draft, like when Martone got drafted. Vince Dunn's available, but he doesn't really help us. Tampa. Ben Danford's not a bad one. Okay. A third in Mueller. Well, I feel like it'd have to be like at least a good forward back. It's not really. It's a little bit cheesy there to do that with the AI. And then we're back to Cole Hudson. Okay, so nothing has happened. So we're almost at the end of the trade deadline. So let's just keep it here as I go for a sip of water. So I hope everyone is enjoying the series. I'm having a lot of fun. I did post a Calgary Flames franchise if you're interested. And in terms of what I want to do after this one, I do think I want to do an expansion one, and then we'll probably do a team. We'll probably do two teams in the East, and that should hopefully take us to NHL 27. I kind of doubt it. We might, well, I guess we might be able to, we might do like an expansion, two East teams, and then like a challenge. Like, I really want to do like what Tugi does, which is like the either all Swedish team only, all Quebec major junior teams only. Like, that could be kind of fun to do. But trade deadline is complete. Let's go ahead and take a look at what moves were made. So, Jason Dickinson is now a Ranger. Becca Heinen goes back to Anaheim. Uh, some so Jason Dickinson was actually acquired from Detroit, and then Anaheim flipped him to New York. Okay. Let's see. Kasperi Kapanen is a Blue Jacket. Kija Ginla's a Ranger for Liam Greentree, a second and a third. So New York basically turned Artemi Panarin into Tasia Ginla. I mean, Tasia Ginla is definitely a better prospect than Liam Greentree. There's our trade. So we have David Reinbacher and Brendan Gallagher. Carly Coyle is a Ranger for EJ Emery. Tyler Myers, Justin Brazeau, and Connor Dewar are now Philadelphia Flyers. Carson Bjarnson is now a Pittsburgh Penguin. Makes sense as why they want to get rid of Joel Blomqvist. Utah traded Barrett Hayton for Owen Beck. That's basically a really good deal. I would do that. TVR is now a Golden Knight. Trevor Conley is a King. That's a horrible thing to say. Oh my God. Elias Protas is now a Carolina Hurricane. How could you split the Protas brothers up? Jack Nesbitt is a Sabre for Justin Danforth and Novikov. Okay. Anaheim acquired Arvid Soderblom for Ryan Strome. Okay. So Chicago now has the other Strome brother. Hopefully, once they get rid of him, he'll probably turn into a really good player. Ryan O'Reilly is a Winnipeg Jet. Brendan Dillon is a Blackhawk. And then there's our deal for Brock Besser and Robertson. John Marino to Tampa for Sam O'Reilly. Dude, Tampa adding John Marino to their defense would be insane. Our right side of Eric Cernak and Marino, and you have JJ Moser and Hedman and McDonough. Oh. Dante Fabro is a Winnipeg Jet for Brendan Yeager. Keyshawn Atkinson is now a Flame for Blake Coleman and Braden Pichelle. Anthony Mantha is a Minnesota Wild for Aaron Kiviariu, a 7, and Ivanchenko. Okay, so that is the trade deadline. So let's see. So first things first, let's go ahead. So Dakota Joshua is back as a Canuck. Goaltending, it will be Lankinen and Dennis Hildeby. Ronick, Beam, Willander, Pedersen, Xhaka, Mancini. David Reinbacher, we are going to send down. Galley's going to play. Dakota Joshua is going to play. So that means we can call up one person. So who's it going to be? It's probably going to be Ryan Reeves, I recall. Ryan Reeves back up. Let's go to edit NHL lines. So they're saying to go Rossi on the first. No, we're going to stick with what I said. So we're going to go Hoglander, Pedersen, and Robertson. And then we're going to go Rossi, Ogren, and probably Aturati here. Can any of these guys play the right side? No. And then for our third line, we're going to go Linus Carlson, Taylor Legacy, and probably Galley. And then Nico Hutainen, Max Sassons, and Dakota Joshua. Who else do we have on the bench? We have Jonathan Lattermacky? What the hell? No, we're gonna... Hold on. We're gonna scratch Dakota Joshua. Lattermacky, get in. We're going to that third line to play with Taylor Legacy. We might put Linus Carlson up to that second line. And then that way we can put Ratty back onto the left side. And then a fourth line of Galley, Sasson, and Hutainen. Perfect. Defensively, obviously, this is going to be Harper. Actually, no, it's going to be Mancini. And then Hayden Fleury is going to come out for Arbor. I don't think that should be a minus. It's probably a weird glitch. If we swap back, is it gone? Yeah, +1. Perfect. So AHL, let's just see. So Jimmy Schultz can come out for David Reinbacher. He will easily go straight up to that first pairing. Well, we get a +2 with him on. Nah, we'll go first. I want him to develop. And then Nicholas Hansen, you're gonna come out for Jet Wu. Put Swire Mineo down to on the left side. Now forwards, Charlie Hudon is gonna come out for Erickson. Reese Johnson is gonna come out for Riley Patterson. And then I think that's kinda it, unless there's one more. I mean, Anthony remains top 9, so it doesn't really matter. And then goaltending is going to be Nikita Tulipio. And the backup will be Maku Kaskikavino. I said that really wrong. Okay. So perfect. So our lines are ready for the rest of the season. If we go captains and jerseys, so we have alternate. And then it's giving Elias Pettersson. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to give it to Galley. Perfect. Sorry, Elias Pettersson. So, I think that's good. If we go to view contracts and we look at expiring now. So, Aturati, what are you looking for now? 4.3. You're restricted rated for 2 more seasons. I think we'll hold off. Brendan Gallagher, what do you want as an extension? 1.8? It's not horrible. We'll see how you do. We'll wait on these guys. Goalie-wise, we'll wait on for them as well. Perfect. So, let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. We are currently about, it looks like 12 points from a division spot. Our Pacific is horrible. And wild card, we are way back. So as long as we don't win out here, we should hopefully be a really bad team, which is what I want. That's why I didn't really touch the power play or penalty kill, because hopefully EA just has it as bad. So we're 1-1 out of the trade deadline. Make it 1-2. Perfect. Keep losing, especially to Pacific Division teams. That's huge. Come on. Come on. Linus Carlson is out with a sore knee. Come on, lose again to LA. Yes, we're now last in our division. Let's go. Minnesota, come on, you're a good team. You're supposed to beat us. Come on, Minnesota. Utah, that's a huge loss. Colorado is also a loss. Let's go. So, Ryan Reeves, you're going to come out for Linus Carlson. Let's go ahead and keep simulating. 3 games left. Edmonton, please. Thank you. Edmonton again. Come on, please. Please, yes, Edmonton. We allowed 14 goals from Edmonton. Connor McDavid just walked us. So 59 points here, 1 month after the trade deadline. Let's go ahead and take a look. Elias Pettersson's almost going to be a point per game player. That would be huge. So fingers crossed, everyone. We are last in the NHL. Let's go. Last in the NHL. We have tied for wins, but we don't have as many overtime losses. Let's go. Let's take a quick look. So Patterson is just 1 point above point per game. Philip Roenick has 54. How has our trade deadline acquiree has done? Nicholas Robertson, 3 points in 12 games. Oy. Oy, okay. And then Brendan Gallagher, 5 points in 12 games. He's done better. Okay, that is wonderful. And then our goaltending, Dennis Hildeby has played 3 games. He's 0-2, so he made 1 relief appearance probably in that Edmonton game. So let's go ahead and finish this regular season. Islanders, come on. Yes, come on. No, don't win. Don't win out. We need losses. No, oh no. Oh no. We still can technically catch Calgary. Oh boy. And we just lost. Okay, come on. Please. Please lose 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. Oh, we win the last one. We're 1 point below Calgary. Oh my god, that could have been bad. How did we almost win out there? Has everyone played 82 games? They have. So, let's see. Are we last? We are last in our division. Are we last in the NHL? Answer? Yes, by 1 point. Oh my, if we lost one more game in overtime or won one more. Now, there's no guarantee we get first overall, but I like our chances. EA's gonna bless Vancouver because obviously EA's in Vancouver. So taking a look at, well, I guess technically we'll start with the standings. So out of the Pacific, Edmonton, San Jose, and LA make the playoffs. Vegas just missed out. Oof. And then obviously all those teams in the Central, it will be Colorado, Minnesota, Chicago, Winnipeg, and Dallas. Definitely the best division in the Western Conference. In the Metropolitan, you have Philly, the Islanders, and Penguins. Damn, Columbus just missed out. Washington also just missed out. And then New York, Carolina were nowhere to be found. Toronto, Tampa, Florida, Montreal, and Detroit all make it. And then Edmonton, of course, are your President's Trophy winners. Now, I want to do 2 things before we look. I want to go take a look at the players we traded. So at Toronto, we gave them Brock Besser. He finishes with 70 points. How did he help them? He put up 21 and 22. So basically, we got Nick Robertson, who only put up, what was it, like 3 points, 5 points in 12 games at the time when we checked? Brock Besser was almost a point per game player. And then, of course, we traded Connor Garland to Montreal. Let's see. So he finishes with 43 and 58. Played 20 games, put up 12 and 20. Ooh. Sorry, Montreal, had to do it to you. So let's go back. So looking at our team, so Elias Pettersson just under a point per game, unfortunately. what, 79 points, which is his best season since the 2023-24 season. So can't go wrong with that. Marco Rossi under almost 50 points, but 20 and 29. Hoglander with 45. Ratty with 38. And then Robertson, did you play a little bit better? There we go. That's a little better. Taylor Legacy with 34 points in his rookie season. So not too bad. Ryan Reeves was able to get into 31 games. You can tell the injury bug kind of hit us here. Defensively, Philip Bronick was with 60 points. That's really good. Elias Pettersson with 37. He's turning out to be pretty solid. I mean, he put up 11 and 20 last year after the deadline. And that's without any power play time. We might have to give him some power play. I mean, he doesn't really have the greatest puck skills, though. Okay, and then our goaltending, Kevin Lankinen went 24, 34, and 3, 2 shutouts with an 8.99. And then Dennis Hill the Beast went 1, 3, and 0 with an 8.86 save percentage and a 4.18 goals against average. Okay. Entire league, we'll start with goaltenders. Tristan Jarry, of course, was the most winningest goaltender. Shutout king went to Ilya Sorokin. Save percentage king as a starter went to Ilya Sorokin. Goals against average for a starter went to Tristan Jarry. So it's going to be either Jarry or Sorokin for the Vezina. Defenseman, 120 points for Cale Makar, 119 for Evan Bouchard. Bouchard might win the Norris just because of his plus minus being at 56, while Cale Makar's is only at 46. And then Hedman also hit 100. Let's see, so not bad. Matthew Schaefer with 66. If we take a look at the goal scoring king for defensemen, it was Bouchard with 25, 24 from Carr, and Dougie Hamilton did hit 20. If we look at forwards, point, tied point, McKinnon and Matthews with 121, McDavid with 118. We had quite a bit of players hitting 100. Sidney Crosby just misses out, so does Matthew Tkachuk. Goal scoring king goes to Nathan McKinnon. So we had 260 goal scorers. Kucherov, Kirill Kaprizov, Mikko Rantanen, and Horvat all scored 50. With McDavid, Draisaitl, Bedard just missing out on the 50 goal mark. Sis King does go to Connor McDavid. William Nylander was up there. So was Crosby. Shout out William Eklund. For rookies, it is Gavin McKenna. Oh, that hurts. Man, we could have had Gavin McKenna. He went third overall. Third. But our player that we picked up, Taylor Legacy, was up there, but not really towards the higher up. Ivar Stenberg was third in points. And then did Keaton Vierhoff play? Let's see, where's Keaton Vierhoff? Let's see, did he play? If he did, he didn't really put up many points. Doesn't look like he played unless it sent him down for whatever reason. So, we can just go ahead and advance and get these playoff matchups set up. So here we go. Playoff time is ready. I'm going to say Edmonton is the favorite. Yep. So, in the Western Conference, you have the Minnesota Wild taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. It will be Colorado and Winnipeg. And then we have a Battle of California, San Jose and LA. Edmonton and Dallas, that's going to be a good matchup. You have the Islanders in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia and Montreal, Tampa and Florida, and then Detroit and Toronto as your first round matchup. So let's go ahead. We will follow the playoffs because why not? Give you guys a little bit of a longer video. So let's go to the 30th. Give time for everyone to play. We'll also find out if our HL team made the playoffs. They did make the playoffs, so we will follow along with them as well. Hopefully they are winning some games down there. Still going on. So they didn't get eliminated. Yet, at least. Oh, maybe they did. So, did they get eliminated? Yeah, they got swept. So, almost the entire second round is done. So let's just go ahead and simulate here. There we go. So I just clicked the wrong button. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the second round is looking like. So Chicago beat Minnesota in 5. Colorado swept Winnipeg. San Jose won in 6. Edmonton won in 7. The Islanders won in 7. Montreal won in 7. So would have been a Stanley Cup final a couple years. Well, 6 years, like 5 years ago now. Jesus. Tampa beats Florida in 5, and Toronto wins in 6. So Colorado, Chicago, Bedard, McKinnon. Then you have, damn, that second round in the West would be kind of crazy to see in real life. McKinnon versus Bedard, McDavid versus Celebrini, and then in the East you have the Islanders and Canadiens, and then you have the Maple Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning, which we have seen so many times now. Let's see, let's go ahead. We will simulate another about kind of weekish, over a week. We'll go to the 12th. Get to the 12th. Let's see who is making it to the conference finals. Let's see. So, go a couple more days. There we go. Conference finals are set. Ooh, okay. So it will be McKinnon and Crosby. McKinnon and McDavid. And then in the East, it will be the 2021 Stanley Cup Final rematch, Montreal and Tampa. So Colorado won in 5, so they've only lost one game so far. Edmonton won in 5, Tampa won in 5, and Montreal won in 6. So here we go. Who are the 2027 Stanley Cup Final matchup gonna be? Colorado and Tampa take game 1. Game 2 goes to Edmonton and Tampa. So Colorado lose their second game so far of this entire run. Colorado does take a 2-1 lead, and Montreal is down 0-3 against Tampa. Are they getting swept? Yes, they got swept. Colorado wins, so they're 1 win away. Are we getting a rematch from the, what was it, 2022 Stanley Cup Final? Edmonton stays alive, force game 6. Can Colorado end it here? They do, so it will be Colorado and Tampa, a rematch. Let's see, can Colorado do it again against Tampa? Game 1, Colorado wins 5-4. Game 2 goes to Colorado 5-2. Game number 3 goes to Tampa 3-2. And game 4, Tampa stays alive and comes back down 2-0 to tie it 2-2. Who is going to get the first advantage? Tampa. They've won 3 in a row. Can they make it 4 and win the Stanley Cup? They do. Your Stanley Cup champions here in 2027 are the Tampa Bay Lightning. Your Calder Cup champions are the Providence Bruins, the Boston Bruins affiliate, of course. So there it is. Stanley Cup final. So let's go ahead. Player stats. Let's take a look at this Lightning team. So you had Kucherov, you had Hedman and Gensel all above a point per game. So it was Braden Point and Brendan Hagel. And then you had good contributions from Sorelli, Radish, and then the rest of the depth. Man, that's true. They had man, that defense though. They're like, hold on, like let's just take a look at that. Hedman, Radish, Moser, McDonough, and Cernak, and Marino. So an 84, 86, 83, 87, 85, and a 92. That, geez, no wonder they won. And then in net, they obviously did have Andre Vasilevsky. So there we go. The second season has been completed. So let's go ahead and simulate to the draft. Obviously, we won't do it in this video, but we will. So we go down from first to third. Dallas moves up from 8-1 because of a trade with Nashville. Ottawa goes from seventh to second, so that's crazy. Damn. So we move down 2 spots. Retirement players who are retiring. Alex Ovechkin is gone, so is Anze Kopitar, Chris Letang, Foligno, Eller, Bogosian, Glendening, Ryan Reeves does call it a career. Couldn't get him to 1,000 games, unfortunately. And then, oh, Daniel Carr, the legend. Goaltending, it is just Jonathan Quick. So, who is a scout? Who is a coach? It looks like Phil Hanley, Hamonic, Chris Letang, and Alex Ovechkin are now scouts. Drafting reviews I don't care about. So here we go. The 2027 draft is here. Let's take a look at the preview. So Landon Dupont is projected first overall. I doubt it's going to be like the Gavin McKenna where Landon Dupont's going to fall to third, but this would be the time for it to. Oh, I didn't even realize that. We get the third overall pick, which is where Gavin McKenna. EA is just trolling us. But if we look at our pick, we will have a potential to pick up Par Grossman, Alexis Joseph, who I did have in the Calgary run, so I don't think I'm going to take him. We could have Carter Meyer. We also have Sammy Nelson. Those two guys are real, of course, and so is Nikita Privalov. Same thing for Max Penikin. He's real. And you have some creative guys down here. Okay, so it looks like we might be going with Carl Grossman, the Swede, which I guess kind of makes sense, but a Guy Lafleur comparison. Okay, so I think that is gonna do it. So thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it if you stayed to the end. It means a lot. We are so close to 50 subscribers, so please leave a like if you want to keep seeing more of this series. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.